Hello, and welcome to One Man Renegade Productions YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tiana Brookegg B, and today is Sunday, and we got some wrestling. We got a lot of wrestling again, because apparently you can't spread these things out. It just is what it is. It's counter-programming, whatever you want to call it, but even still, like, they're not even happening at the same time this round, whereas last time, they were definitely happening at the same time. And I don't think AEW can extend out this pay-per-view as long as they're the last one to match up with when NXT starts, because if they did, it would be like 3 in the morning. No, it wouldn't be that late. Maybe they can actually. Now that I think about it, because I don't know when these shows start. Actually, to be quite honest with you, but they are the same day. I am recording this way ahead of time, so unfortunately, I have no idea what the matches are going to be, other than Tanahashi's fighting somebody at Forbidden Door, and the Hurt Syndicate's defending the tag titles against whoever wins some tournament. And for NXT, I can speculate on some of the matches, but as of right now, there's nothing actually scheduled. So we're going to open up these both. We're going to start with AEW because that is first up on the docket in terms of time frame. I'm guessing it will start at like 2 or 3, given there's a 5-hour difference and it's in London. And the pre-show will probably start at noon or 1 or something. I don't know. Yeah, so Swerve and Okada, I think, are going to be fighting. The problem is Forbidden Door. So, I mean, Mariah May is in NXT, so she'll be actually on this show. And then Britt Baker, no idea what's going on. She very well could be on that show as well, depending on what her contract situation is. And Orange Cassidy is currently out injured, but could be back by then. But, it's Forbidden Door, so it also includes New Japan. So, could get a lot of New Japan stuff going on, which is interesting that they're doing that tag match, because none of the guys in the tag matches are from New Japan. But I mean, Okada is very very familiar with New Japan, but they're setting up him and Swerve, but technically neither on New Japan, so I don't know how that works for the Forbidden Door. I don't know. We'll see how much Forbidden Door stuff they actually do. But again, recording this way ahead of time, so no idea. All right. Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, private party. Last I heard, their contracts were up, and there was rumors that they might be moving over to WWE. Jamie Hayter, I think, is injured again. She only came back not too long ago after a long injury, and then I guess got injured again. Mariah May, we talked about. She's in NXT now. Blake Monroe, unless you talked to Booker T and he called her something else, but regardless, she'll be on NXT, I'm assuming. We got Ian Riccaboni. Sure, he still does stuff. Christian Cage, who got kicked out of the patriarchy by the rest of the group. I mean, they're obviously teasing stuff with him and Cope reuniting. The next pay-per-view is All Out, and it's in Toronto. So I could very much see them taking on probably FTR. And currently they're in the tag title thing. So I'm assuming they're going to win, beat the Hurt Syndicate, and because Cope hired them to attack the FTR because they have a weird thing where he can't get close to them or something. Whatever. It's all a bunch of nonsense. It's actually funny because I'm watching some old WWE stuff, and there's the same thing with Vince McMahon and Triple H right now. It's like, is this the same storyline that they did? Whatever. Irrelevant, but either way, Cage, Cope versus, and speaking of Cage, more Cage, Gold version, we got Nick Wayne, Christian Cage, and Killswitch. No idea what's going on with Killswitch. He had some health stuff. No idea if he's going to be back anytime soon. Nick Wayne, of course, was the one who turned on Christian, but I do think they're going to set up Cope and Christian versus FTR for All Out in Toronto. I mean, that just makes sense. So I think they're going to beat the Hurt Syndicate. Hikaru Shida, apparently she's having visa issues or something. I don't know, but this is a Dazzler. That's kind of cool. We have Big Bill. I don't know what happened with Big Bill. Big Bill and Brian Keith were kind of, they're part of the learning tree with Jericho. Of course, Jericho went off and did stuff, and now it's questionable whether he's going to come back or not. His contract might be up. But then, I don't know, they were doing their own thing, and then it's kind of just stalled. I think were they a part of the tag tournament? Yeah, they lost to the Bang Bang Gang, who are fighting FTR. Again, recording this ahead of time, so don't know what happened. Sky Blue, she just recently lined herself, kind of came back from injury and realigned herself with Julia Hart, but they also now have Tekla involved with that, who is the Toxic Spider. Speaking of toxic things, Toxic Avenger, the new Toxic Avenger is coming out soon. Actually, it might have already come out as you're watching this, but looks crazy. Timeless Toni Storm, as I'm recording this, still the AEW Women's Champion. I don't think that's going to change. I'm guessing she's going to defend it against probably some Japanese woman that I never heard of. Audrey Edwards, sure. Max Caster, he's the best wrestler alive. Let's go, Max. He's the best. I can't remember the last time he won a match. And then more trios. We got John Silver, Evil Uno, and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order, which I think they've mostly been wrestling on Ring of Honor recently. But there we go. All right, next up. Anthony Hendry and J.D. Drake. I honestly have no idea who either of these guys are, and if they're still with the company, or what they're doing, or where they are. So there you go. Another guy I have no idea. I mean, I think he's still with the company, but he hasn't been on TV forever. Wardlow. Apparently he was filming something for something. I don't know. Orange Cassidy, he's been out injured. We got Steven Smith for reasons. Anna Jay, her and Ty Mello have rekindled their thing. Kyle Fletcher, as I am recording this right now, and I just remembered this, Collision is on tonight because it's the Thursday instead of on the Saturday, and he was fighting Dustin Rhodes probably hasn't started yet now that I'm looking at the clock. It's probably going to start momentarily. I'll watch it later. He's fighting Dustin Rhodes for the TNT Championship, of course, that Adam Cole had to vacate because of injury. Konosuke Takeshita, I think was he doing the G1 or something? Because he hasn't been on AEW in a little bit. I think he was doing the G1. I don't know what happened with that. But that is the 79, some sort of pink variation. Actually, it usually says, Pink Pyro. There we go. Perfect. Actually, did they say? Yeah, these are just cool. Okay. Pink Pyro, 79, that's cool. Canvas Sky Blue, talked about her 2 seconds ago. John Moxley, of course, just recently lost the AEW Championship to Adam Page, Hangman Page. They had the rematch and lost again. So there you go. We got Arcadia, whatever her name is, Lance Archer, who is still part of the whatever it's called, the Don Callis family, doing stuff, and then we got Vincent and Dutch, who I guess are in Ring of Honor. I can't remember the last time I even saw them on anything, so sure. All right, moving on. Got 2 more packs. We got Harley Cameron, who was injured, but then kind of came back, but then hasn't been. She came back at All In, but then haven't seen her since. Soraya, who is no longer with the company, but there was rumors might be going to WWE, but then I don't know. Roderick Strong, I honestly don't know what's going on with them because obviously Adam Cole got injured. Eddie Kingston, who's been out injured forever. We got Deonna Purrazzo, who I think most recently has been doing stuff in Ring of Honor. Chris Statlander has the on again, off again thing with Willow Nightingale, so we'll see if anything ever comes of that. Brian Keith mentioned as with Big Bill earlier. Still tagging there, I guess. Action Andretti on the Pyro. Yep, sure. Nyla Rose, no idea. She hasn't been around forever. Queen Aminata, she's been around. First UD. What does that mean? First UD. I'm guessing that means first upper deck card, but that's a weird way to phrase it. First UD. Okay. Powerhouse Hobbs. Technically, I think Samoa Joe I mentioned in a previous video. No, that was the other video. Wow. Okay, I'm recording this right after I did my SummerSlam and there was Samoa Joe. He's technically part of the Trios Championship with Samoa Joe and Shibata. I mean, I'm guessing they'll be defending them maybe if Samoa Joe's back. I know Twisted Metal 2 Season 2 just came out, so I don't know. Juice Robinson just returned. He was tagging with one of the Guns because the other gun got injured. We're still waiting for Jay White to return. And then we got Matt Menard, who was doing a lot of commentary, but that was more back on Rampage, and Rampage isn't a thing anymore, so not quite sure what he's up to. All right, next pack. Final pack, actually. Ray Phoenix and Penta L 0M. Wait, wasn't this... What year was this? I'm sorry, this was 2025 AEW. Why are they in this? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, they're in WWE now. And have been. Penta's been in since the beginning of the year. Ray wasn't far behind. Why are they in this? This is weird. Buddy Matthews. Last I heard he was injured, I think. Abaddon, they got let go. We got Shibata, part of the Trios Championship. First UD again. We got Willow Nightingale, I mentioned. She's on again, off again with Chris Statlander. Although I think she was feuding recently. She cut a promo on somebody last night. I forget who it was, though. I don't know. Whatever. Ricky Starks, another guy. Like, I don't quite know why he's in this. It's got diamond plate variation. He hadn't been on TV forever prior to them then getting letting go and being in NXT. So the fact that he has a card in here is a little weird. We got Swerve. Like I said, I'm assuming he's going to be taking on Okada for the International Champ. No, what is it called now? It's not the International. It's not the Continental. It's the Unified title. We got Adam Page. He's the champ. Ruby Soho. She gave birth to a kid, so no idea when she'll be back. Then we got Hologram, first UD. Shida, we talked about. And then running Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher round things out. Of course, they're no longer a team anymore, so this is weird that they have a card together. But hey, it is what it is. Kyle Fletcher, talked about moments ago, might be winning the TNT Championship as I'm speaking. And Will Ospreay is out injured with some herniated discs, even though then he said he'd be back in time for Forbidden Door. So he may be involved in Forbidden Door, maybe not. It's from what he explained, it sounded like he wouldn't be, but then he said he would be. So he obviously could just be flubbing, giving us a little, making stuff up type of thing with how bad his injury actually is, which has never happened in wrestling before. Everyone's always truthful and honest about everything. No, it's very easily could have been making stuff up, so that when he does return, won't even be surprised because he said he would return. So it's almost like, why would you say that? Just say you're going to be out for 3 years and then come back 2 weeks later and surprise everyone. I don't know. But anyways, that's going to do it for this AEW box. And now we move on to NXT because we got NXT Heatwave up later on tonight from Lowell, Massachusetts. Thought about maybe going. Obviously could change my mind in the interim of me recording this and then actually the event happening, but I don't think I will be attending. But you never know. Maybe I changed my mind. I've actually never been to the Memorial Auditorium. Lowell Memorial Auditorium. All right, moving on. We got NXT Heatwave coming your way. Like I said, taking place in Lowell, Massachusetts, the Memorial Auditorium. Sorry, I had to take a little break there. Some phone issues going on. But we're gonna open up an NXT blaster box from 2022 because this is again still the last product they put out from NXT. Tops put out a new NXT product. Please and thank you. NXT Chrome. Let's get an NXT Chrome. That'd be awesome. All right, but we're gonna open this up. I don't know what any of the matches are gonna be. I can kind of speculate maybe on what some of them might be. I'm guessing Trick Williams will potentially be defending the TNA championship. Although they might do a NXT TNA unification thing with Obafemi. They're kind of teasing that. Maybe Javon Evans gets involved there. Maybe an TNA guy. They've been flashing up Joe Hendry pictures randomly for no reason. So maybe he gets involved. I honestly don't know. I'm assuming JC Jane's going to defend one or both of her titles. As she has both the NXT and the TNA Women's Championship. Yeah, who knows? Seems like Josh Briggs and what's his face are probably gonna their mega powers are gonna explode. Why am I blanking on his name? Why blah, blah. Yoshi Inamura. I was like, what? Why can't I remember his name? Yoshiki Inamura. And Josh Briggs maybe having something. Ethan Page probably defending, maybe against Ricky Starks again. I don't know. We got Ivy Nile. She's on Raw. Noam Dar. Is he injured again? I don't even remember. Josh Briggs we just discussed. Bruce Creed on Raw with Ivy Nile. Fallon Henley, she's part of obviously Fatal Influence. But could she maybe challenge JC Jane for one of those titles? I don't know. Wesley is also kind of involved in that whole Trick Williams thing, so maybe he gets involved in something. Elektra Lopez, not with the company anymore. Trent Seven, not with the company. Flash Morgan, not with the company. Zoe Stark currently out injured. Saray, no longer with the company. Danny Luna, well, she's in TNA, so sort of with the company. Finn Balor, of course. We got a green of Valentina Feroz, not with the company, but it is a green. Raquel Rodriguez, of course, with Finn Balor up on the main roster in the Judgment Day, of course. So there you go. All right, next up, we got Oliver Carter, who is Mensa, whatever. Either way, I believe he's no longer with a company, right? I think. I don't know. Stevie Turner, she obviously helping out Ava Rock, as I call her now. And also the Prime Minister of Evolve, Johnny Saint. I'm guessing he's no longer with the company. I mean, he was the NXT UK thing, and, well, whatever. James Drake, Boa, Roderick Strong, no longer with the company. Cruz del Toro up on with the LWO. Amalie, Katana Chance, Mark Andrews, Joe Coffey, no longer with the company. Santos Escobar up on SmackDown. Otis on Raw, but I think out injured at the moment. Braun Breaker, of course, part of the Braun crew with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Tyler Bate, I don't know what's going on with Tyler Bate. Like, they came back with Pete Dunne. They did the thing in Europe or in England a while ago. Then they disappeared again. There was rumors that he was injured. It was unconfirmed, and then it was like wasn't injured. They just weren't using him. I don't know. Malik Blade, he's been doing Evolved stuff. Miko Satomura, I'm guessing she's not with the company anymore. Aaliyah James, there's Tyler Bate again. We had Saxton Huxley. Valentina Feroz. There's Trick Williams. And again, Trick, TNA champion, Trick-N-A champion as it is, would, I would think, be defending. And speaking of TNA champions, we got JC Jane right there. Again, she might be defending one of the titles, or maybe both the titles. Tonight we got Rampage Brown, no longer with the company. Julius Creed up on the main roster. Carmelo Hayes up on the main roster. Cora Jade, Elena Black, as she's going by back to now. No longer with the company, also stepping away from wrestling for a bit. So there you go. Shai Samuels no longer with the company. Big E, of course, still recovering from injuries. I don't know if he will ever wrestle again, unfortunately, but yeah. Nikita Lyons, she kind of bounced around, was in TNA for a bit, then was doing Evolve for a bit. Hasn't been on NXT for a bit, but still with the company. And then it's Finn Balor again, the green version. The green version of Finn Balor. All right, moving on. Elton Prince, who I believe is still out injured. He got a little banged up. Blair Davenport, no longer with the company. Caden Carter, no longer with the company. Zion Quinn, no longer with the company. Dave Mastiff, no longer with the company. T-Bone, no longer with the company. Ashton Smith, no longer with the company. Von Wagner, no longer with the company. Jack Starks, no. Joaquin Wilde, he's LWO for life, or whatever they say, I guess. Braun Breaker, we just mentioned a moment ago. Idris Anofi, or maybe he's in Evolve. Wait, so then if he's in Evolve, where's Malik Blade? Are they both in Evolve? I don't know. They were tagging for a bit. Corey Graves, obviously doing commentary on NXT, but also most recently been doing commentary on Raw as well, since Pat McAfee's taking a little break, and with college football starting up soon, I don't think we're going to see Pat McAfee on WWE, at least not permanently. I'm recording this a bit ahead of time before SummerSlam. I assume he shows up and does something for SummerSlam, maybe to cause a couple matches, if not, I don't know, but we'll see. But with college football right around the corner, I think Corey Graves maybe slides into just the Raw thing and maybe steps away from TNA. I don't know. Trick Williams talked about. Kushida, I think he's back in Japan now, if I remember correctly, but no longer with the company either way. I know he was in TNA for a little bit, but I don't think I haven't seen him in TNA recently, as I kind of started watching TNA again because of the whole connection. We got G. Jones, no longer with the company. Senga, no longer with the company. A-Kid is now Axiom, of course, up on the main roster, tagging with Nathan Frazier. Dante Chen, last I saw, he was doing stuff in Evolve, I believe. Amelia McKenzie, no longer with the company. Robert Stone was doing the TNA thing, is also doing commentary in Evolve, also helping out with Ava Rock. Sam Gradwell, no other companies. Nina Samuels, Bodie Hayward, Wolfgang. Nikita Lyons, we've discussed. Ulisa Leon, no longer with the company. Got Seth freaking Rollins, which they've dropped the whole freaking thing. I kind of don't remember when they did that, but it just kind of, after a little bit, it was like, wait, they're not saying freaking anymore. We got Tyler Bate again. I feel like we pulled a bunch of him. There's Seth Rollins again. Last back. Got Ikemen Jiro, no longer with company. Andre Chase, he's got Chase U going again somehow, some way. Storyline doesn't make any sense, but it never does. Io Shirai, Io Sky, of course, up on the main roster. So is Nathan Frazier, tagging with tagging with Axiom. Jordan Devlin, JD McDonough, of course, current. Well, I shouldn't say current, because again, I'm recording this a few weeks ahead of time, but as I'm recording, current World Tag Team Champion with Finn Balor in the Judgment Day. Brooks Jensen, doing Evolve stuff. Kit Wilson, as far as I know, he's fine, but Elton Prince has been injured, so he's kind of just waiting. Zaya Brookside is TNA, yeah. Isla Dawn, no longer with the company. Lash Legend, feuding Nia Jax. I'm assuming that's going to be a match, probably at tonight. Zach Gibson, no longer with the company. Eddie Dennis, no longer with the company. Asuka, of course, up on the main roster. Ooh, what's this? Zaya Brookside to 75, kind of some sort of gold version. That's kind of cool. Again, she's in TNA at the moment. And we got Ulysia Leon, whatever her name is. The gray or silver version. And there we go. So we did get a numbered card. Other than that, not new too much. We got some parallels, greens and the typical greens and silvers. And a whole bunch of people. That's a lot. And that doesn't even cover that pile or her either that are no longer with WWE. So we need a new NXT set. Come on, Topps. Let's go. NXT Chrome. I want it out tomorrow. Or at least something. Come on. They have had the license the whole year and they've only put out one set, on top of the Topps Now stuff. But let's do it. Come on. You got the license. Let's go. Come on. Crank stuff out. We want more wrestling cards. All right, that's going to do it for today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Again, enjoy AEW Forbidden Door and AEW New Japan Forbidden Door, I should say. Whatever the matches end up being. Enjoy TNA. Nope, not TNA. NXT. Heatwave. But I'm sure there'll be a bunch of TNA involved, given that two of the TNA champions, the two big TNA champions, are part of NXT, or at least as I'm recording are. So I've got to imagine there's a bunch of TNA stuff going on the NXT. But hey, there we go. So thank you everyone for watching. Come back next time. We got what next week? Oh yeah, that's next week is Clash in Paris. I didn't have anything planned for that, and well, there might be something up next week for Clash in Paris. There might not be. I don't know. Depends on if I get around to recording stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be around to do that, as this is why I'm recording this way ahead of time, and I didn't even think about that until just now. So, I don't know. There may be something next week for Clash of Paris. There may not be. But just hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification, get a notification every time videos up, and I watch, come over, watch it, like it, share, comment, and all that fun stuff. Keyword is fun. Just having fun here on the channel, recording some preview stuff for events I don't know what the hell's happening for. Yeah, I don't know. But thank you everyone for watching. Stay safe, have fun. Talk next time. Bye.